CEO of Georgia and Tbilisi office. And today we have a first seminar about launching the simulator. I hope you managed to read the document that we shared via mails and also try to launch the simulator itself. But if you have the questions or came across to any problem during launching the simulator, it's the right place and right time to ask these questions, and also try to follow the process that our mentor will go through during this meeting. And the mentor for today's seminar will be Alex Barnabishvili. And Alex, you can start.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this seminar. I'm Alex Barnabishvili, as Natia mentioned, and I will be mentoring this seminar today together with Levani, who is also here and will be helping us. So before starting, I would like to say that I'm glad that you expressed interest in this course and participate in this seminar. So I hope that it will be productive for you and also you'll like it. Okay. So let's start. I will share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Quite well.
Yes.
Okay. So about this seminar, today we will try to download and launch the LGSVL simulator. I will do it on my computer, and of course I will be sharing screen so you can see and follow all the steps and do all the same on your computers. And if you have any questions at any step, then you can raise hands right here, and so I'll stop and I know, and also text your questions here, and we will discuss it together and try to solve it, the issue. Okay. So also one more thing before starting, maybe one of you already had the chance to explore with the simulation before this seminar. So in this case, please share your experience when this seminar, at the end of this seminar. And also if you have any questions or issues regarding any step in the middle, then you can ask these questions when we arrive at that step, so that everyone is on the same place at the same time. So, okay, let's...
I already see that Alexandra has raised the hand. Maybe you already have the question.
Yes. Alexandra, please text your question in the chat area.
Or you can unmute and ask directly.
Yes, of course. Okay, if you don't have any questions, please. So it's important that the simulation launches, but for the testing purposes of this seminar and for future seminars, it's important that the simulation works. It's not necessary for it to be super great and the graphics to be super good. So it's enough that it has just launches and has low FPS. Okay. So first thing to do is probably to get this simulator on our computers. Levani, I see that has shared our link, the link of the official web page. Let's open it. And on this page should be already way to download it. It's in Windows and also in Linux. Today on this seminar, I will be working on Windows, this Windows version should be should download the Windows version. In fact, it usually takes some time, so I already got it on my desktop. So you should do the same. After that, all that is needed is to extract content, and in this content to run this simulator file. And you should get this first screen of the simulator. Now I'll just stop and see how you guys are doing. Have you been able to get this first screen? Um, on macOS, unfortunately, it's not possible to launch. They are doing some works, the team of LGSVL simulator, so it should be, as I know, supported soon. Yes, in case it is required to sign in, there is a sign up page right next to it. So it's free, and after signing up, you should be able to log in and see the content of the control panel of the simulator. Okay, regarding those that have Mac OS or for some other reason is not able to launch the simulator on their computers, we are looking for some options, maybe to provide you with a computer already set up for such task so you will be able to connect to this computer remotely and do all the training necessary for this course and seminars. So at the end of this seminar, we will ask you to fill the form to indicate if this is the case for you. Okay, so for those who was able to get this first screen, let's continue. Okay, so here, before clicking this open browser page button, there is this option on the top right, and it is a place to configure some settings of the simulator. As the hardware demands and requirements of the simulator are pretty high, it is recommended for us to use lowest settings, as it is enough for our testing purposes, and it will be easier for the computer to run it. And this settings resolution actually doesn't have any effect. So let's continue. So this is how the control panel of the simulator looks like after you sign in with the mail and user and password. Have you done it already? Okay. So if it's run first time, these are maps and vehicles that come by default, and they should be already present here. All they require is to get downloaded, and they do it automatically. So we should just give it time, and when they are done, we should get this valid sign and green points here. So did you get those? I'll just, before I see any raising hands, I will just continue. Okay. Now, these maps and vehicles come by default out of the box, but also there is an option to add map and also add vehicle. We'll see how it's done shortly, but first let's explore all the tabs here. So we saw maps, vehicles. Clustering allows us to use several workstations to run a simulator. That is done because the hardware demands are pretty high, so simulation can require a lot of processing power sometimes, as a lot of cars, and they all have some sensors, and a lot of data is processed at the same time, and so several workstations can work in clusters, and they can share all this load of resources. But in this case today we'll just use this one computer on locally, so we'll just leave these settings as they are. And the simulations tab also has some default options here, but it basically allows to pick map from this list, then pick car from this list, also add some configurations like weather conditions and other stuff that we will see shortly, and run the simulation. And this is all the options that are here by the out of the box. So no, just for the purposes of simplicity, no further or heavy configuration is needed. A simulation can be run out of the box. But I will not do it. Let's first see how to add map, and then how to add vehicles, and how to custom add our own simulation, and then we'll run that. Okay. As I see no raising hands so far, I'll continue. Okay. So in order to add map, there is button on the right top corner of the maps, and let's click it. So it requires two kind of information: name and web URL address. Maps can be found on official website of the simulator, and these two kind of information also can be found there. So let's see how and where. This is the page, main page, and here on the top there is a button content. If you click there, it leads to this page. So here are maps and also vehicles. Let's add, for example, one of them. The one that is not present, for example, in our, let's for example delete this one and add again. Shalom, it was called Shalom. Okay, it's this one. So this is the name copied to the control panel of the simulator, and now we need this one, and this is here. It's called asset bundle. Right clicking and copying link address gets us the URL. And that's all that is needed, and just waiting to get the map. Okay, so let's do the same with vehicles because it requires the same steps. Add new, and name and URL is required. Let's get those. Here, let's add this one, for example. No, actually, for our purposes, let's add this one. Okay, it was very fast. So I guess everyone is following. Okay, but adding vehicle requires also one more step, because simulation needs so simulation requires to know the exact location of the car in order to navigate it through the map and to know its location. So the car needs to have sensors. So in order to add new car and also configure it, we should also configure and equip car with sensors. That is, we'll see how it's done now. So this is the place that accesses that panel. And here is the place to indicate which sensors this car should have. First, we need to choose the bridge type. It should be CyberRT. Bridge is used to connect the simulator to other tools, for example, Apollo, which makes it possible to drive the car automatically. For example, to make destination, for example, from A to B, and the car to move from these 2 points, and obeying all the traffic rules, stopping all the traffic lights, and so on. So in order for this connection to work, there needs to be bridge, and this is exactly the place to indicate it. And we will look at the other types of bridges in later seminars, but now we will use this one. And this place now requires us to indicate sensors. It needs us to give in a JSON format, and this is already prepared on the official website, and I'll show you how to get it. So this is the same main page of the simulator. So on the top, documentation, we can use the find option of the browser and type get sensors for easy finding. And here is what we are looking for: vehicles. And this is the file that we are looking for, Apollo 5 JSON. And this is what we want to copy in the field of control panel of simulator. This is a list of sensors. This is the names, and we'll see what each of them means and what kind of information they provide inside the simulation. So now let's just copy these sensors here and submit, and we have this car ready now. Okay, now let's create our own custom-made simulation with maps and cars, and we can run it. Add new, we can indicate any name, for example, test1. We'll run it on local machine only. Now this option, API only, means that it can be controlled only from Python environment. This is something that we will cover on the next seminar, but for now we'll leave this unchecked. This is a headless mode option, in which case we won't get the graphical interface. We will only get just a simulation running on the background so that other tools like again, for example, Apollo can interact with it. But now we want to interact with and see what's going on inside the simulation, so we also leave this unchecked. Next tab is yes, we want it to be interactive. We want to drive around the car. We then pick any map. This is a map we tested, so I'll pick this one. This is also the car we added, so let's pick that one. This is place to indicate the bridge connection. In this case, we are not using any external tools to communicate with our simulation, so we can just leave this as it is, or as an example, built in. This will be how it looks like if it's on this computer. If it's on any other computer, I mean the other tool, then we'll indicate here the IP address of that computer. Okay, the next is enabling random traffic and random pedestrians. I hope everyone is following. Okay, one raising hand. Oh, sure. I will repeat how to add sensors. I will just do it again afterwards. So this is the place where sensors are located, this little tool icon. And this is a place to copy this JSON file, and this is a place to choose the CyberRT. Which part do you want me to repeat again? Maybe on the website? Where to find in okay. So this is the main page. From here, click documentation on the top. Then to find it easily on this vast menu, we can use Control F and show so that browser's finding option shows, then put sensor there and it finds something. And right here is vehicles, this one. After clicking it, this is the file that we are looking for, JSON. Do you want me to repeat again, maybe? Okay, so I don't see raising hand. Okay. Okay. So we were in the process of creating new simulations. So let's start from start. Test 1, local machine, leave this unchecked. Run simulation interactive mode, map this one, we leave this unchecked. Enable random traffic and random pedestrians. Now this option here allows us to remove the random factor from the simulation. So every time, if this number is the same, for example, it can be 1, 2, 3, and if this number is present here, every time the simulation starts, it will always have the same kind of pedestrian action and traffic action. For example, every time this yellow car at the same time will come out of a corner. This is for the reason to, for example, if there was some bug manifested and we detected it, to recreate the conditions to see this bug again. But for now, we'll leave this unchecked. And this is the weather to control like clouds and fog. This is also can be done from the simulation inside the simulation. So we will leave this unchecked for now and try to change those from the simulation. So now it's ready and we can select it by clicking on it on the top. On the bottom, there will be this red play button and we can now run it. And if we go back to the first screen, it now should have our simulation. It is in pause mode now. So were you able to get to this step so far? Okay. I guess it takes some time to in order to simulation to load. You can drive around the car. Up and down arrows are acceleration and brake. Also, there are more controls here, like reverse going and forward going in page up and page down. You can explore some more that part. Let's focus on sensors now. So this is the sensors that we put there. If you check, this is exactly the same names. Some of it are self-explanatory by the names. For example, let's show what this shows, what kind of information. This is a speed, braking and stuff like that. GPS is also self-explanatory. Maybe this is not, but this shows the position, acceleration also. Some options are repetitive. This is a radar, and it locates other objects in relation to our car. And it is less accurate than LiDAR, for example. If you can see these red dots, probably it's not that clear on the remote connection, but this is how LiDAR looks like. It is more accurate than radar, so it can distinguish, for example, one object to another, if it's car or bus or pedestrian. Radar just detects objects. And the rest are cameras that are equipped on the car. Remember, this is because other tools require to get this kind of information from the car and for the simulation, because they don't observe the view that we observe now. This is just for demonstration purpose. What else? This is a bridge. It is now disconnected because we are not using any external tools, so it doesn't show any information. This is just logs of what's happening inside the simulation, and this is the weather. We can control a sun position, rain, for example, fog, clouds and stuff like that, and this kind of stuff influences how accurate sensors are. For example, in fog, cameras in long distance won't be as accurate as without fog. So that's basically it. That's all I wanted to show in this seminar. Now, if you have any questions, please ask.
And also we can share the forms, I think, Alex. What do you think?
Yes. So, how was your simulation? Uh, were you able to drive the car?
Levan, we can't hear you. I think you are speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah, so you can put it in a reverse using page down button. I was also like looking for that for a long time, then Alex said it to me. And then you can click page up to put it back and forward.
For this first seminar, you won't have any homework. Just, I guess, to explore and drive around the car. Um, for the second seminar, we'll send you some helpful links and manuals beforehand. And it will be about how to interact with simulation with Python. And also there will be some homework on the second seminar.
Meanwhile, I would like also to share the link of the form. We have prepared two forms for today's seminar. One form is based for us to understand if you launch the simulator and like to know more about from your side. You can fill it anytime, even after the seminar itself. And I will also share another link, just a second. This form will help us to identify if you have any need to try and use a remote working station that will have more powerful technology side that will help you to do and run and launch the simulator and the other tasks as well that you will have later. So fill this form and feel free to provide your information that will help us to schedule the time and also to give you possibility to use remote working station. So you can fill this both form later anytime, just till the second seminar.
I was just showing you how loaded video card and processor during the simulation. It's basically using half of the video memory, that is 8 gigabytes, and all of the CPU.
Is there anybody who wasn't able to launch it today? Maybe because of the computer specs.
Yes, this is the way how to stop it
Go ahead.
and launch it.
So do you have any questions related to this seminar, or maybe you are interested about the upcoming, or if you have any questions, you can use this opportunity while we are here.
Yes, that's all for today.
Yeah, I'll tell about a bit about the next seminar. The next one will be a bit longer, I think. We will use, we'll first set up environment for working with Python, and we can basically communicate from Python to the simulator and control like almost all of the stuff from Python API, like launching different simulations, also like spawning the cars or pedestrians. If you don't have any experience, I will still try to like tell it in a like beginner friendly way so that you will still understand. So like don't hesitate to join if you don't know Python. It will still be easy to understand. Yeah, but it's good that you wrote it because I was interested like how many people know so that I can prepare it. Okay, I think that's. You're welcome. So, Alex, do you have anything else?
No.
In such case, then, as we don't see any other questions, so feel free to use, by the way, the Telegram if you have any question, even beside and not waiting the next lecture or seminar. And later we will send, of course, the record of this seminar and also link to view and see the video for the next lecture, which will be on Wednesday for the next week. And thank you. Wish you to have a good weekend and evening as well.
Thank you.
You. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. See you next week.